Hey guys, you found Nintoonist here with a little bit of a different kind of video today. Sort of a channel update slash post commentary slash real talk heart to heart with you guys. And wow, I haven't made one of these kinds of videos in a really long time. If you're like an OG Nintoonist fan, like you followed me when I was super tryharding at content creation, when I was new to it, when I was 16, had like less than 100 subscribers, you would know that I used to make like post commentary Team Fortress 2 videos all the time, whether I was just talking about something that happened in my life or the gameplay or whatever. And I just wanted to make one of these today because I had a lot on my mind to talk about with you guys. Just things about YouTube and Smash and, you know, whatever potential future projects I'm gonna do. And I wanted to have a real open heart-to-heart discussion with you guys here. And by real, I mean no script. I normally script my videos, or at the very least, my longer videos, and this time I'm not doing that. Like, now I just have a little checklist of the things I want to talk about with a little bit of notes, which I used to do for some of my older vlogs and whatnot, but I just had a lot that was on my mind recently, and it involved a couple of things that I felt like I really just had to get out there into the world, and in what better format would it be for a Nintoonist to do than to not break his consistency of releasing 2 videos in the span of 6 months, and then releasing a channel update in part as to why he hasn't been making videos. I've done that like multiple times throughout the past couple of years. Again, if you're an OG or not even an OG Nintoonist fan, you know that at this point. And who am I to break tradition, guys? Let's be real. Seeing as how I have a tendency to make my videos way too long, it's just a horrible habit of mine, and a YouTuber of my size and status really can't afford to do that. But seeing as how that's going to wind up happening anyway, I'll timestamp this video below if I can figure out how to do that, or at the very least put the timestamps in the description. But to just cut with the small talk here and just get to the real talk, the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is YouTube. Just YouTube and content creation and my channel itself for what it is or what it's worth and where it's going, really. And if there is anything I can say that I've learned, among the many things I've learned in my sort of not even really tenure as a content creator at this point, because I can't say I have that because my channel is not really big enough to even consider that. I'm sure you've all heard the age-old saying before when it comes to content creation and when it comes to YouTube. Everybody says it, everybody means well when they say it, or I hope they mean well, but that little bit of advice is consistency is key. Everybody says that, like, if you're consistent with YouTube and as long as your content's good, you're gonna make it, kid. You're gonna go far, you're gonna go big, you're gonna do great big things in this internet world that we live in. No. No, people have called me based, people have called me real, and that's because I don't like to bullshit people. I've been bullshitted, and I don't like the feeling, so I don't want to do it to other people. I'm gonna tell you right now, from my own and the experience of actual successful YouTubers, it does not always matter if you're consistent when it comes to content creation, even if your content is good. And the reason I say that is because when I was 16, when I was new to YouTube. It's when I tried super hard at it. It was when I was really breaking out of my, shell as a person and just putting all my effort into a hobby that wasn't just playing video games and hanging out with friends to play video games, really. Going forward, it meant so much to me. It filled such a void in my life. And as serious as I took it at the time, I read a lot of YouTube guides, because those exist. There are guides for pretty much everything on the internet, and one of those things is YouTube as a whole, and people tell you the secrets to marketing your channel and getting big on the platform and stuff. And I am here to tell you, most of those guides are completely full of shit. I'm just gonna be real with you. Most of those guides are just full of shit, and the reason I say that is because they're written by people who have significantly less of a following than me. And I'm not a big YouTuber. I have 5.7k subscribers, which has not increased in like 2 years. I mean, obviously, it's not gonna increase in 2 years, in, the span of 2 years where I haven't been making videos. Pro tip, I'm not a professional YouTuber, but pro tip, if you want to grow as a content creator, you gotta make content. That's, I think that one should go without saying. You don't exactly need to be a professional, marketer or have a degree in communication and media to figure that one out. But I say those guides are full of shit because they're just written by people who have, like, like only subscribers in like the triple digits. Their videos don't normally even break 1,000 views if they even get up there most of the time, and sort of like me, you know, that doesn't happen to me too often. I mean, I have a bigger following, and sometimes my videos do break that mark from time to time, even though my demographic is kind of stagnated to one thing, which is a topic I'll talk about later. But yeah, it's like they're typically written by people who have less than like 100 subscribers or around that marker, or just don't have that kind of success. Like recently on Twitter, I saw a promoted tweet that talked about, or advertised, I should say, how to get bigger as a content creator, how to get bigger on the platform. So I clicked the link just out of curiosity, because I know those things are typically full of crap, and I clicked the link to the guy's YouTube channel. And no disrespect to this content creator, he's out here grinding. He's probably gonna wind up being definitely bigger than me one day with how infrequently seriously I take content creation. But I went to the guy's channel, I saw him with this guide, and he had like less than 1,000 subscribers, and his videos rarely got out of the triple digits. Or not even the triple, the double digits on a lot of them as well. And it's like, what? Why is this taken as a joke? Like, why are you making a YouTube guide when you can't feasibly make a living doing this with the following and, like, the ad revenue and, you know, viewership that you get? I mean, I don't, like, make videos on how to do fucking open heart surgery after playing Surgeon Simulator for a little bit. You don't do that. There's professional training for that, and it's just ridiculous to see that. I've seen so many of those on the way up. I've read so many of them, and I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself the whole time, what am I doing wrong? After, like, not having any growth for years and years, I'm like, is my content really just that bad? And I think back then it honestly was. You know, the audio quality on my videos back then were shit. Which is funny now, considering I dated a professional musician for like a year and also took a whole class in audio engineering. But hey, I wasn't the best of students, I suppose. I'll have to go back to my notes on that, I guess. But point is, I've seen so many of those guides on the way up, and they're just all written by people who have no success on the platform. And it's like, why are you writing this if you have no success on the platform? That's a joke! You know, and to correlate my own experience here with the actual big successes I've had on YouTube, you know, relatively, you know, compared to other, you know, YouTubers of my size and status, I saw a guide. I saw an actual YouTube guide by a guy who retired from YouTube when he had 900,000 plus subscribers. So this was somebody who actually knew what they were talking about and knew what they were doing. And what he said exactly what was on my mind in saying that consistency is not key. I mean, it is key, you know, it's important, but it's not the only thing. Every YouTube guide says, be consistent and, you know, it'll come. No. I know a lot of YouTubers who are consistent who have stagnated and people just don't watch their stuff. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And, what this guy said, he talked about what is known as the breakout video. And a breakout video is a video that is at maximum 5 minutes long. A video that has a ring to it, like lets people in, you know, lets people know what your channel is about immediately, and is able to capture their attention span because of how short the video is, because people's attention spans are shorter than ever, and I can vouch for that myself. My attention span is garbage. But, yeah, and I can definitely say that that's true, because nobody, no matter what I posted, gave my channel a chance until I posted the We Are #1 video that I made back in late 2016. I capitalized on a meme trend. I put a Smash spin on it, which let people know that my channel was about, you know, video games and Smash and Nintendo and whatnot. And I capitalized on a popular meme trend. So naturally, that video relatively quickly racked up 1 million views. And as such, I gained a whole bunch of new subscribers and followers from that who started giving my other content a chance. There's always going to be at least a small percentage of those people who will give your content a chance after that, which is how my channel even, you know, got the relative following that it did. I feel like I got lucky, or at the very least, I was in the right place at the right time. And just like with many other successful things in life, you gotta be in the right place at the right time sometimes. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. And more on that later when I talk about Smash, and I'll talk about commentary a bit. But point is, this guy was right. Breakout videos are important because I never had any success until I made a breakout video of my own. And that just goes to show, you know, that there is at least a little bit of a strategy to it, but it's it's relative. The point is, though, if your content is good and if you're able to make these breakout videos, which, I mean, guys, think about it. If you're reading an essay or you're reading a book, it's gotta have a good intro, right? It's gotta have a good intro paragraph. It's gotta have a hook. You remember being in, like, elementary school and, like, learning how to write essays and stuff, and they tell you, oh, you know, if you're writing a paper, it's gotta have a hook, and they tell you why it has to have a hook to let people in. It's the same with YouTube videos, guys. It's the same with content creation. You gotta let people know what you're about. You gotta let them know in a short way what you're about so they can give your other stuff a chance first. You need a good hook. You need an intro paragraph. Why is it suddenly different with videos in a video format? It's not. Point is, though, once you have that going for you, consistency is definitely key. You gotta post videos to actually have success on the platform, of course. And if you're a follower of mine, you probably know that I am the most inconsistent piece of dookie when it comes to this side of the gamosphere and when it comes to content creation, of course. I am more inconsistent with it than ever, and I have multiple reasons for that. I mean, you know, whether I had a job that made me too tired to do it, or I was in school for the last few years, which I was besides this year, and the last year, you know, I had a girlfriend. And when you're having regular sex, I'm gonna be honest with you guys here, when you're having regular sex, if you're not truly deeply passionate about something, you're gonna take the other end of that stick every time. No pun intended there. I really didn't mean to do that, actually. Point is, you're gonna prefer that instead most of the time. So, when I was young, you know, YouTube just filled such a void in my life that, you know, as an adult, you know, like, I guess I've learned to just fill with other things, I suppose, but now because of the COVID situation and quarantine and whatnot, you know, while we're still waiting inside and, you know, just at least being careful for the most part, it's sort of gotten me back into content creation, which I still have certain quarrels with. When it comes to any endeavor, whether it's just a passionate hobby, which is what YouTube was for me for a long time, or a business endeavor, which is what I wanted it to be for me when I was just a teenager and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I still don't really. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to content creation, or at the very least, I don't want to do the things that a lot of the more successful YouTubers do. Is that you have to be kind of realistic with yourself eventually when it comes to YouTube and where you're going with it. Putting your heart and soul into videos that just not very many people watch, at the very least, in comparison to other, you know, YouTubers and stuff, which you shouldn't waste your time comparing in the first place. It's just empty. It's an empty feeling. It's a little soul-crushing. Not as soul-crushing as it was for me a few years ago when I took it way more seriously, but it's still... It's still empty, regardless, you know? Like, to make videos when you feel like nobody is watching, to look at the numbers and just never see any growth no matter what you do, or to make videos you don't really want to make just so you can have a semblance of growth, is just... it's soulless. One of my earliest inspirations for doing YouTube was a YouTuber named Star_, who you might know as Stir, who was an Overwatch player and an Overwatch streamer for a very long time. He was a TF2 YouTuber for years, had almost 1 million subs by the time he quit. And he quit because his audience only really wanted him to make one thing, and they just didn't care about the other stuff he put out. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that. He has a whole video about it that really sort of reflects my situation with content creation. I'll put that down in the description below, or at the very least for me, it's like what happened to him is what happened to me on a much smaller scale. People just sort of wanted him to make one thing, and in my case, it's the top 10 videos that I just didn't really want to make anymore. And the thing I was really passionate about a few years ago were my Let's Plays that I did with my buddy Dennis, and those Let's Plays were sort of in the style of, you know, Game Grumps, where it's just like a podcast with that they just happened to do while they were playing a video game in the meantime. I put more heart and soul and effort into those videos than just about anything else, and they are among the least viewed videos on my channel. An important lesson I learned when it comes to content creation and when it comes to YouTube is from Brentalfloss, actually. You know, the lyrics guy from YouTube who does a lot of other things now. He doesn't do that too much anymore. He's sort of branched off, like any creator is one to do. But anyway, he talked about his success with YouTube, and he talked about, you know, the reason that he had that success with it is because he did something on YouTube that nobody else on the platform was doing at the time. Nobody else was, like, adding lyrics to video game music, or at the very least, they weren't doing it well, which is why, you know, his channel blew up, and is why so many people grew up with him. And it's also the reason why my Let's Plays with Dennis didn't do well, or one of the many reasons. The audio quality in those videos were bad anyway, you know, like, maybe the video quality wasn't the best. I still wasn't the best at content creation back then, and still, I'm not the biggest professional, or really any professional with it now, but point is, people aren't gonna give your Game Grumps style Let's Play a chance when Game Grumps exists. They're just going to go watch Game Grumps instead. If you're doing the exact same thing that another much more popular and bigger and more successful YouTuber or YouTube channel than you is, they are not going to give your content a chance. That is the most surefire way to make sure people don't give your content a chance, and this is why breakout videos are so important. You gotta let people know what your channel is about, so they can watch whatever, you know, unique video series or videos that you have on your channel, and then maybe they'll give your more similar type of content a chance. That's how really that goes. There was a point in my life where I just wanted to be a Let's Player on YouTube and just do these videos with Dennis when I was younger. But it's just not practical. There was no way that was gonna happen. A very important key to it is being as unique as possible and just being yourself. That's so important. For the most part, at least. Look, I'm sorry, but regardless of like if it's a hobby or a business endeavor or whatever it is that you do in the real world, in your real life, when you do it for so long and you have no success with it, you gotta think to yourself, is this taking away from other things in my life? Is this holding me back from my, you know, true potential? You know what I mean? It's like, for me, and it sort of feels that way as well, so ideally, what Star learned at the time back in 2014, and what I learned here as well about a year or two ago, is that if you want to make what you want to make on YouTube, you gotta give the people what they truly want from time to time, and you gotta hope that each grows. But then you make one video and it distracts you from making the other, and then as a result you don't make either. And for me, it was the worst, because even then, like, I was making, you know, those top 10 videos pretty regularly, and even then they started to decline in viewership as well. And it's like, okay, so now I'm stuck making a video series for something I don't even want to make. Like, now what's the point? Now it's like I'm not even enjoying myself anymore, nor is it even wise to keep making these videos because they're not even getting that many views. So honest to God, like, at that point, there was really no point. So as a result, I lost a lot of passion for making YouTube videos. And only recently, like a few months ago, about 8 months ago I would say, was I had the idea for a new Smash series on my channel. It was called Smash Excellence with Nintoonist, and I'm sure if you're a frequent viewer on my channel, you know I talked about it in one of my earlier Paper Mario videos, and it's done. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, it's done. I finished that video like a while ago. I think it turned out really good. I was so proud of it and so happy with how it went, but I didn't want to post it because I kind of wanted to disassociate from Smash. Part of me feels like I should just suck it up and post it anyway, because it'd be dumb to just not post it just to disassociate from Smash, considering that I guess other YouTube or other, you know, YouTubers are doing it or whatever. But for me, I just wasn't comfortable doing it, and I'll explain why in a minute. But point is, I feel like I need to be honest with you guys in saying that the new content that I want to make, as well as the content that I feel like I should for you guys, is truly going to be my last stand. I started doing YouTube when I was 16, and I put so much love and effort into it for years. It was like my #1 thing, you know, if I wasn't eating or sleeping or, you know, doing something I had to do because I was 16 and I got dragged places, I was making videos and just cranking those out constantly. But I'm 24 now. That's different. I can't be doing this anymore. In 6 years, I'm gonna be 30. You gotta put that into perspective for yourself. In 6 years, I'm gonna be 30, and I don't want a YouTube channel that has only 5,500 subscribers. 5,500 subscribers, my mistake. I don't want that to be the only thing I have to show for that. I'm sorry, but I don't. Not that it is anyway. Like, I've done a lot more in my life, like, you know, with Smash commentary and whatnot, but point is, this new content, I feel, really is gonna truly be my last stand. I feel like it has to be, because if YouTube doesn't work out this time, I hate to admit it, but unless I can find content I really enjoy making, which I think I am finally on the path to. I have a huge list of videos that I really do want to make at this point that I think will break me into a sort of a different spot in YouTube, if you would. I have to be honest and say that it's just not worth my time anymore, you know? It's just, you don't think of, when you see these numbers, you don't think of them as actual people sometimes you just see them as numbers, and you gotta put it back into perspective for yourself. These are people who watch your videos. If it's like 1.8, you know, thousand people who watch your videos, like, and you could compare yourself to other people and waste your time doing that and think, you know, oh wow, this sucks, nobody watches. Or you can think to yourself, that's like more than an entire movie theater worth of people who sat down and watched your video and enjoyed it. Like, that's kind of crucial here. And feedback is a whole other different thing, because YouTube comments just are not good feedback for the most part. But yeah, it's just where I'm at with content creation at this point. And as for streaming, I'd just rather put my energy towards something else. You know, like, I used to literally not play certain games because I felt like, oh, I should save this for when I stream to my 3 viewers, or 5, or 10, or however many I have, so they can see my first reaction, derp-a-derp. Like, honestly, I'd rather just enjoy playing a game for myself, rather than take away from my own experience by forcing myself to try and be entertaining while I'm doing it. And it's like, people would ask me, like, why don't I, you know, stream Origami King? And it's like, why would I just want to enjoy the game for myself. I don't want to focus on having to be somebody I'm not, or just to be entertaining, you know, rather than just enjoying the game for myself. Because I could be sitting there being silent and just taking in everything in the game myself. Who wants to watch that? Like, I don't want to have to focus on talking the entire time while I'm playing a game and enjoying myself, you know. I'd rather just, if I'm going to do that, I'd rather focus on other things, you know, or at the very least not do it by myself. I don't know. I could change my mind on this in the future, but for me, it's just like, ugh. It just feels like empty, especially considering, you know, growing as a streamer is so hard. You know, it's, again, it's another one of those things people will tell you, just be consistent. That is such a crock. Honestly, the only reason I even streamed around the beginning of this year anyway, or around, you know, spring of this year, I should say, was to support the Glintendo circuits, which, if you don't know what those are Mario Kart tournaments that are hosted in my region that anybody can enter. Put the information on screen right now. We have them every Sunday and Tuesday, and they're streamed on Master Hand Gaming, which is a channel I do a lot of collaborations with. And the thing with that is that Mario Kart has no, it has no spectator mode. So the way these tournaments are ran, or the way they're, you know, streamed, I should say, on the channel, they're completely reliant on people streaming their tournament runs themselves, and then they're broadcasted live onto that channel. So it's like a cross-promotion thing to help people grow. And I'm gonna be real, at the beginning of quarantine, even before quarantine started, I was in an insanely dark place in my life, and it just amplified even worse by my town being the epicenter of the virus in the state at the beginning of the pandemic. Not just my county, my town specifically. The first person in New Jersey to have the virus was from my town. I couldn't believe it, really. So it was just a terrible time for me. I mean, it's way better now, don't get me wrong, but still. Yeah, so it was like the only thing I had to look forward to in my life at the time, because the world essentially grounded us all to our houses. It was awful, and yeah, so it was the only thing I had to look forward to, and it meant so much to me and got me out of a dark place in my life. So I wanted to support the Glintendo circuit any way I could, which is why I started streaming them. And as the Glintendo circuit grew and became more popular with professional Mario Kart players and Smash players alike, more and more people streamed it, and my stream wasn't really necessary anymore, so I thought a better way to service it instead would be to commentate them every week with Chriselodian on the Master Hand Gaming's channel, which I still do. If you miss my content and you miss me regularly making content, I'm a live commentator for the Mario Kart Glintendo Circuit Mario Kart tournaments every single Sunday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to see more of me, tune in to twitch.tv/masterhandgaming at those times on Sundays and Tuesdays. Every week I do this, or most weeks when I'm available, which is usually most of the time I do them, unless I'm away or, you know, I have like some more important prior engagement. But if you miss my content, definitely be sure to check those out, because I am most frequently on those. This is only one of the things I really wanted to talk about in this video, and you could probably notice how long the video already is. I always have a tendency to make my videos too long no matter what, which is not something a YouTuber of my size and status can afford to do. If you're a smaller YouTuber, you gotta make your videos shorter, otherwise people are just not gonna give them a chance. You know, which makes me think I should get into podcasting, but more on that later. Point is, the TLDR here is that this is really my last stand with content creation, is this new Smash series that I'm producing, as well as just these other, you know, more opinionated gaming videos that I want to make. this is really my last stand. I've been getting super into COD Zombies recently, and I'll be like, oh, I'd love to make videos for that, but on top of not being good enough at the game or being knowledgeable enough at the game to do it, I know for a fact, that nobody would watch those videos. Nobody at all, because, like, I already have, like, a demographic of smashers on my channel, which kind of sucks, really. I'd like to broaden that demographic a little bit, especially considering, you know, what Smash has become and how much I've sort of wanted to disassociate with that, which sort of is a perfect time to segue into this next point, or this next portion of the video, and that is Smash Brothers. About a month ago, I posted a very long video about, you know, the state of the Smash community and addressing the problems with it after the wave of Me Too sexual misconduct cases and stories that came out at the beginning of July last month. And if you want to talk about me having a tendency to make my videos too long, there you go. It's like about podcast length, really, which is another thing that makes me think I should just get into podcasting. But again, more on that later. That video was very long. But even when I posted it, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Even when I posted that video and I was done, I posted it online, got my piece out there for the time being to see what we can work on afterwards, I still didn't feel like I said enough. It truly felt like I just didn't even say enough. That's how disgusted I was, you know, with the state of the Smash community and what the state of the Smash community still is, by the way. Nothing has changed in Smash at all, you know. It's been like a month and a half, whatever, since these stories were coming out as often as they did. Shit has not changed. If you think it has, that means you treated it like a trend, and frankly, I think that's bad. But anyway, I'd be lying if I said these stories haven't affected me in a semi-profound way as well, and this is something I really feel like I should have addressed a while ago, but I kind of just left sitting on the back burner for quite some time, so I feel like here is as good a place as ever to really do it, so I'll just say it. If you're a frequent viewer of the Tri-State Wi-Fi Smash tournaments, you know, like DNA and on Thursdays, Fusion on Mondays, Xeno on Wednesdays, even though I've never casted Xeno, at least not the Wi-Fi version of Xeno, but you probably noticed that I have not been on the microphone for those events for a very long time. I mean, another reason I haven't been making content, you know, is because I've just, for the last year and a half, I've really grinded as a Smash Brothers commentator to the point where I've become one of the most well-known ones in the tri-state scene, and I'm goddamn proud of that. I'm just goddamn proud of that for myself, that I've just done that and, you know, grown to be the best commentator I can be, and, like, the best commentator I still strive to be. You know, it's something that I take very much pride in, at least thinking I'm good at, I suppose. I don't know. Not a narcissist or anything like that, but I'm always open to feedback. But point is, I'm a very frequent commentator, or a well-known commentator in the tri-state scene, and I was doing a lot of the Wi-Fi tournaments to help me get through quarantine, just like I'd been doing with the Glintendo circuits on Sundays and Tuesdays. But I haven't commentated any of those Smash tournaments in a month and a half, and there is a very clear reason why I haven't been doing that, and that is because I don't want to. I don't want to offer my services, and I'm not comfortable offering those services to a community that has revealed itself to be this terrible to women and minors. I'm just not. I'm just kind of fed up with the way things operate in the Smash community, that everything is just based on your status because there's no real governing body or anything like that. I talk about all of this in, you know, that podcast video I made addressing the current state of the Smash community. I'll put a link down there in the description below if you're interested in hearing my thoughts about that. But to me, it's like, if I just hop back into doing Smash commentary after, you know, 2 weeks, you know, however long, you know, like it took for a lot of those stories to, you know, continue coming out. If I just hopped back into Smash commentary right after that, I can't help but feel that would equate to me treating what went down as a trend. Which, just as I predicted, Smash Twitter and a lot of, you know, Smashers and shit treated what happened last month as a trend. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I think that's fucked up. I think that's really screwed up, and I think the fact that these stories and, like, these cases of sexual assault and victims and whatnot, that it was all just treated as a trend, and then people just started talking about the game again and just went back to business as usual. It's like, why? We can't take that seriously? It made me sick to my stomach, and I know some people say, like, oh, we can't let these people stop us, you know, like, because that proves that, you know, that proves to the outside world, which the outside world had our attention because of it. There was national news about how many, you know, misconduct stories there were in Smash, specifically in the gaming scene, that we are just proving ourselves to the world as just a hub for predators and whatnot. Which, in a sort of way, I mean, just like a gaming tournament with this many kids seems like it would be a magnet to those things. Sort of like child beauty pageants, I guess. But, you know, whatever. Again, I talk about all that in the other video, so feel free to check that out if you want my thoughts on that. Point is, I'm just fed up with the way things operate in the Smash community. Like, the Me Too movement in Smash, and too many Smashers, in my opinion, just treated it like a trend. It was exactly like how I thought they would, and, like, I know people say the opposite, but, like, I feel like by commentating again after, like, a week or however long, it just feels like business as usual again, and that's just not right. I've been, for the most part, I mean, and I can't help it because sometimes I just talk to my friends who I just know through Smash, of course. I've just been trying to disassociate from Smash and from Smash Twitter because of what happened, and because I know I talked about in that last video a lot about how I had faith in the Smash community, but on a lot of days that faith just, I'm gonna be real with you guys, that faith just dwindles. And I really don't think very much is going to change in it unless we really get our act together, you know, and I know a lot of people behind the tri-state scene are working very, very hard. I know that for a fact that they are, but I'm just gonna say right now, I am not commentating a Smash tournament again until I see that ban list. Until I see who's actually banned, and to make sure that the right people are banned from Smash, because, and I know that they will be, but, like, I see multiple predators who, after just deactivating their Twitters for a little bit, came back onto Twitter.com. If you're from the tri-state scene, you know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. You just come back to Twitter and start talking about the game again, as if they're coming back to tournaments. And it's like, you're not coming back, fucker. You're not welcome here. You pedophiles are not welcome in the Smash community. You're not. Go. Get out. Take your L. Leave with what little dignity you have left and don't come back. But they're just talking like they are, and it's been a month and a half and there's been no word. And I know a lot of the TOs are working on something big behind the scenes, but the fact is, it's been this long with mostly silence, and I'm not cool with it. I'm just not cool with it at this point, and I'm just not comfortable commentating Smash tournaments and offering my services to a community that has revealed itself to be this horrible to women and minors. And if you still don't think the Smash community is terrible to women and minors, just think about your experience in Smash when you first joined, if you're a man watching this video, and how welcome tournaments made you feel, how they broke you out of your comfort zone and your shell and really opened you up to, like, more real-world experiences. Women want that too. There are women in their shell who, you know, fall in love with the game the same way you did, and they don't get to have that opportunity because they go to a tournament and they just, you know, flirt with people up, or, you know, make them uncomfortable, hug them after a bracket set or whatever, think that they're less at the game just because they're a woman. And it's like, these things happen, dude. If you don't think they happen, you're either a misogynist, or you just don't come to Smash tournaments yourself, or you're just stupid. You might just be stupid. I don't know, or maybe stupid's not the optimal word there. I should go with uneducated. That's probably a more professional word for me to go with there. But point is, I've been making excuses to a lot of the TOs who have reached out to me for tournaments for a long time now, and you know, most of the time those excuses are actually true, and there were situations where I couldn't. Like, one day it was my dad's birthday, another day I was out of the house or whatever, but even if I wasn't, I wouldn't have wanted to commentate anyway. I just wouldn't have. You know, a lot of my passion is gone, at least for the time being, or is dwindled, and it's like, there are times where I feel like it's holding me back. Smash is holding me back. I don't know. I mean, when it comes to Smash, like, at least for the game, like, as a competitor, I'm probably not going to enter tournaments anymore at all, if I'm being honest. And the reason, I mean, I don't know, things could change once quarantine is over, you know, probably like around next year when we're going to start to be able to enter these tournaments again, at least at the local level. I just don't care. I just don't care about improving at the game. You know, I can tell you guys firsthand, there has only been one time in my life where I have seriously try-harded to try to get better at the game, and that was when I wanted to beat Acro. I would go to Hitbox Arena, and that's for you youngins there. That was a tournament that was out in Booney, Jersey. I would go to Hitbox Arena every week, and I would get 4th place to this guy in the summer of 2017 every single week. This guy would cuck me out of the money every week, and I was so sick of losing to this guy and his Sonic that I labbed out that matchup super hard. I streamed all day, every day, just watching my VODs, talking to my chat, and taking notes and whatnot on how to get better and whatnot. And then those nights I went to the tournaments. My life was Smash back in 2017. And I eventually beat that guy just by, you know, switching off of Rob back to my main in Mario. And apparently that's all it took. Whatever. The point is, I don't care about getting better. I don't want to play the game for 6 hours a day just in order to get better at the game and, you know, grind it, you know. It's just not worth it to everybody, which is another thing, another one of my many issues and with the Smash community and with stigmas in it. I feel like there is a stigma that anybody who competes at Smash is trying to be, like, the best in the world or the best in their region or something, and you gotta understand, some people just do it for fun. It's just fun for some people, you know, that they just want to go and have fun and enjoy a tournament. I know it is for me. I haven't seriously practiced the game in years, you know. Still able to beat, like, you know, like, some of my region's better players, but, like, you know, I don't care about improving at the game like that. I don't want to put in that much time and effort and grind it. If you're one of those people, that's great. But it's just not for everybody, you know? And half the reason I even still entered tournaments was because it's like the easiest way to gain knowledge as a commentator is by playing the game that you commentate. That's huge in terms of growth as a caster and as a commentator. So that's part of the reason I did it as well. But a lot of that passion is pretty much dwindled. So that's like one of the many reasons why I feel like I shouldn't come back to tournaments once quarantine is over. I mean, I have a lot of personal reasons for not wanting to do it either, but I also have professional ones as well. And I'm giving you guys the professional ones right here, and that is that I am just not comfortable commentating or offering my services to a community that's this terrible to these people and still has not shown me signs of change. However, at the risk of sounding like a dick and a hypocrite, if these commentary gigs are paid, that is a different story. And again, I know I just like went on a whole spiel about how I wouldn't be comfortable commentating Smash tournaments yet, and at the very least, I wouldn't be comfortable doing it for free or offering my services to a community that I feel needs to change, because for the most part, I mean, I can literally count on one hand how many times I've been paid for commentary gigs in the 5+ years that I've been doing it, and that's because it's a passion-based thing, it's a community-based thing. Everybody contributes to the Smash community in their own different ways, and for the most part, everybody winds up in the red. I'm not comfortable, you know, having it be a community-based thing and, you know, sort of just contributing to it for the passion of it when it's such an unwelcoming place to so many people at the end of the day. If I'm paid for it, that's a different story, because I'm 24. I'm not going to say no to being paid for my profession at this age and at this time in my life. That's just not a wise thing to do. So yeah, at the risk of sounding like a hypocrite, if there's money involved, I'm not going to lie, that would change things. That doesn't change the fact, though, that I think the community very, very much needs to grow up and very much needs to change. There was a stream on House of 3000 recently that had an open conversation and presentation about sexual misconduct with an actual professional organization that handles those cases, and people were asking questions in the chat, and I saw Smashers in there just talking to each other about it and whatnot. It was great. These people educating themselves on how to be better, so I can't say that I have zero faith in the community changing, but long term, I just think a community that has no real, like, structure or governing body is going to really be able to move forward, but at least in the way that it did before. But we'll find out. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm losing all faith. I'm not, but like it's hard on some days. I got to be honest with you guys. So shout outs to all the TOs behind the scenes who are doing their best to move forward. You guys are the real ones out here, but for me, it's just, I don't know. I'm not a tournament organizer. I never wanted that kind of pressure. That's pretty much almost all of the reasons why I may not be coming back to Smash tournaments, at least in the facet that I have been anyway. I mean, I have personal reasons for not wanting to come back that I'm not going to go in this video, of course, but those are my professional reasons, and I feel like my subscribers and my Twitter followers and pretty much everybody who knows me in the Smash community should know that. Why I've been turning down certain commentary events. I mean, I don't know if I'll get back into it eventually. I don't know if I will. Frankly, I think a lot of things need to change. Not even just for me to want to commentate Smash tournaments again, but mostly for me to also even want to come back to tournaments again, and to offline tournaments when they come back. I think a lot of things just have to change, and I'm not sure if the community is capable of that, but we'll find out later on down the line, I suppose. Lastly, as to not leave you guys in the dark, I want to talk about my potential future projects here, which I kind of want to include podcasting in. I think I'd be a lot better at podcasting than I am at certain types of videos, just because like I have so many thoughts that I don't like to condense and I just want to get out there, and I feel like I can just flow on a microphone. I mean, I know I can flow on a microphone. If you've watched my commentary in Smash, you know I'm very long-winded in my speech, and that's just because if there's something I know about, I like to talk about it, you know? It's an important thing to me. I have no problem being on a camera or in front of a microphone or anything, so I think it's part of my calling to really do that, and I do have some opportunities for that, actually, because I have an old friend from my old community college who reached out to me because she wanted to start a podcast with me about health and wellness and relationships and whatnot, and I was down for it, and I don't know exactly what happened with that, but, like, I still want to be in talks with her about it, because she sent me something that I will fully admit I forgot to watch, and now it's been months later, so I want to see if that offer is still on the table at this point, so I messaged her, and hopefully that'll work out. And to anybody who knows me watching this, you probably know I'm very good friends with Koopa, and he had an idea for a podcast that he wanted to host on Master Hand Gaming, so if that falls through, that'd be great. I mean, I don't think I'd necessarily be co-hosting it with him completely. I mean, I'm open to the idea of that, but, like, I would at least be a very frequent guest on it, which I'm looking forward to. I'm not going to talk about what the podcast is yet in terms of his own secrecy, but it's a really good idea, and I'm super, super down and open to it, so that's going to be a lot of fun. In terms of my current content, I did just mention Master Hand Gaming, which you guys know I do, I mean, not all of you guys, but I'm sure some of you guys know I do a lot of collaborations with, mainly for the Nintendo Circuit Mario Kart tournaments, which happen every single Sunday and Tuesday. I'm going to put the codes on screen right now if you guys want to do that, because there is one main circuit on Sundays, 150cc, and if that's a little too slow for you, 200cc tournaments are on Tuesdays as well. I commentate those almost every week with Chris Elodian, who's the owner and founder and operator of Master Hand Gaming, so definitely go give him a follow if you want to catch more of his content, or just more of mine. You know, if you miss my content and you want to see more of me, I do those shows literally twice a week, almost every week, so if you are a Nintoonist fan, you want to see more of me, then that's really also another great hub to find me at. I'll put all the links down there in the description below and whatnot. And to conclude everything here, I'm not, like I said earlier on in the video, I'm not giving up on content creation completely, but this is really my last hurrah. The videos I want to post now, whether it's this new Smash Excellence, this new Smash Excellence series, top 10 videos, since you guys just seem to love those so much, I'll just post those again and see if those get any views, or, you know, just get more views, I should say, because I know they get views, and I know people like them, and that's what matters at the end of the day, but, still, like, you know, the amount of effort that goes into videos, you know, what feels like for such little reward, sometimes it feels like it takes away from the kind of stuff you should be doing to really just move on with your life, you know, nobody's getting younger. And, as well as other types of videos, like, I have, like, a lot of opinionated gaming videos I want to make that, frankly, I can't wait to make, and I'm probably going to start making immediately after I post this video. So, I got a lot of stuff, and I got a lot of plans that I want to do for the channel. Might do a big rebrand, I don't really know, but I got a lot of decisions to make behind it, but I didn't want to leave you guys completely in the dark. You know, there's a reason that I haven't been posting many videos, there's a reason I haven't been commentating, and, you know, it's not even just the stuff I've said. You know, I've been depressed off my ass pretty much all year, but I'm starting to really dig my way out of the rabbit hole. I've already crossed a big branch and moving forward in it, a big gap in moving forward in it, and I know the things that I have to do for myself personally in order to do what I have to do. Anybody who personally knows me knows what I've been going through, but if you don't, it's just your boy's been going through it from time to time, but I'm doing pretty great now, not gonna lie. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, sticking out with me. I hope if you did stick it out with me, thank you so much. I know it was really, really long. I have a horrible tendency to make my videos not too long. I promise my new videos aren't gonna be that long. I take that back. I said that, and I take it back immediately. Some of them won't be, though. Smash Excellence, I plan to be very, very short, like 10 minutes maximum for those videos, so that will hopefully, like, help me break into a new habit and get people to start really, peeping my content again. So that's pretty much going to do it for me. All the links are going to be down in the description below. If you like this video, feel free to give me a sub, help me grow a little bit, or like the video, share it around, all that good stuff. You know the drill. If you did stick with me to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching it. I really appreciate it. And I think that is pretty much going to do it here. Thank you so much, guys. I love you. Mwah. And goodbye.